And here we go again. Today we'd like to take a look at a couple of applications that we came across in a magazine locally just a few days ago. So it's quite informing. Now, this all applies to the UK, the United Kingdom, but whether this will apply to your own country, I don't know. If it doesn't apply, this particular apps don't apply, you need to search on the internet and find something which will work on your computer. Firstly, it's about the geology where we live. This is the UK as we see it now. Unfortunately, this is made from the British Geological Survey. Now, I know that there's a United States Geological Survey, the USGS, and I suggest anyone else, be it in Europe or wherever, even southern countries, even Australia and New Zealand, they would check to see if they have a geological survey for their area. So what I'm interested in really is our house that we live in. I'm wondering what it's sort of built on. This application, it's very clever. We can look at superficial rocks and stuff, bedrock only, and both the bedrock and the superficial, which is in there. So we're going to zoom in on this particular area here, which is the area of coastline where I live, and I'm going to just click on the map here. See that this is bedrock. It's a white chalk subgroup. It's made of sedimentary bedrock formed approximately 66 to 100 million years ago in the Cretaceous period, a local environmental previously dominated by warm chalk seas. Well, there we go. That's basically what the land is. The thing is, if we have people in our group who actually live a little way away in the town of Alford, if I can find it. Maybe they've moved it, maybe not. Alford, here we go. So I'll zoom in on Alford, there we are. And let's have a look at theirs. This is a scale of 50,000. And if I just click very near to it, we get a bedrock geology description. It's Ferriby chalk formation, chalk sedimentary bedrock formed approximately 94 to 101 million years ago in the Cretaceous period again. Local environment previously dominated by warm chalk seas. So this area at one time was covered in seas, etc., chalky seas. And so most of the coast here, I mean, we can move up to another area here and click just to see the differences that it can be created here. Again, chalk formation, this is up. So I'm wondering, it certainly works for I know the bedrock round where we live, on this coast here. Oh, that's a bit different. Kimmeridge clay formation, never heard of it. Mudstone sedimentary bedrock formed approximately a long time ago. Jurassic period. Oh, well, that's a good place to look for dinosaur remains, and if it's that Jurassic period. Anyway, that's just one little app I thought we'd have a look at. And as I say, if you live in the UK and you want to know what sort of stuff lies beneath your house, then that's good. Again, I'll just click nearby here, not quite sure where it is. We get the description of what's beneath us. Have a look at the key here. It shows you the different colours that are available on this map. Like, I suppose that's a lime green as opposed to a dark green. Grey chalk, white chalk, etc. So you can have a look at the whole country with this. And as I say, if it all worked properly, it would be really good to use. But there we go. If you just want to find out what your house is built on, whether it's on sand or stone, then this is a good app to find that out. I'm not going to knock the app because it is very good. So there we go. That's one of the little apps I had a look at. Just click again. Population in my area. Now this is a Lincolnshire population density. This is Lincoln itself, and this is the area where I live. Quite dense in the area around there. On this area, a lot of small houses grouped together in a small area. As you can see on the map as a whole, or sort of Lincolnshire as a whole, it goes as far west as Mansfield and Nottingham, and on this side Skegness, Boston and Grimsby in the north. So that is sort of the main lump of Lincolnshire. But you can see the population density, as you see, under 50 residents per kilometre out here in the countryside. Well, most of that is farmland anyway, so you can understand that. small villages and that sort of thing can be shown up. But yeah, just this little area here is what we're interested. Mablethorpe, Sutton-on-Sea, Alford, I think, and one or two other little conurbations around here. It's all good to see. As you can see, the Humberston up near Grimsby there, that's quite a densely populated area, and that's what you get from that little map. Now the next little map is quite worrying that I'm going to show you, because it's to do with the flood. We can see here that the little blue spots that you can see is areas which are at sea level. Now I did check, but today we have a tide which is on average about 5.7 meters. It's about 5.5 or 6 at the early part of the day on the high tide, and it's about 5.8 tonight on a high tide. So we know the tides are going to be a bit higher in the evening than in the morning. But okay, we talk about global warming and the changes that will make. But this is where it becomes a little bit worrying, folks, because if we raise the water level by 1 metre, now that puts it up 6 metres straight away. Look, Peterborough has got surprisingly, Peterborough's got a lot of problems because they're below sea level. The area where we live here, which is this area between Grimsby and Skegness, we got problems. I need bigger wellies, basically, because if the sea comes up by 1 metre, the Mablethorpe, Sutton-on-Sea, Chapel St Leonard's, all this area is going to get soaked. That's just 1 metre. Right, so that's literally having the water rise up to about the average side of a kitchen worktop. It's about 1 metre. Right, let's just come out a bit, and then we click on 2 meters. Let's see what difference that makes. Now that makes quite a bit of difference. Like, you know, this is the top of a garden shed height. Now most of the area we are from, sort of Grimsby all the way down again to Skegness, it's well and truly flooded. Now this is just 2 meters of rise. They have predicted that the sea levels around our area, certainly in the foreseeable future, may rise as high as 5 meters. Let's go to 5 meters and see what happens. Right, basically our coastline has now changed, and with 5 meters of extra water coming in, then we'd rename Alford to Alford-on-Sea, because it's now on the North Sea instead of being sort of an inland town. Now this is going to cost a lot of money to put right. Peterborough no longer exists because it's totally flooded out. Wisbeach, Long Sutton, and all these little places where we know, King's Lynn even. King's Lynn's sort of half underwater, and that's 5 meters. Now a little thing that this program will do is it goes up to 60 meters. Do you want to see what happens when we go to 60 meters? That's basically the total defrosting of our polar region. And look, this country no longer exists as we know it. This is the island of Lincoln, we can see here, and that's the island of North Yorkshire. Both will be separated by that's 50 kilometers, so we're talking about a good 5 kilometer distance between the coast and these islands. And if you think that's bad, take a look at Holland. Let me just reset the map a bit. Let's go back up here. This Holland. Now this is The Hague and Amsterdam, down as far as Utrecht and Antwerpen, or Antwerp as we call it. So here's a lot of reclaimed land. This is where the Dutch people have built the dikes to hold the sea back, and have pushed it forward and pushed it forward and pushed it forward, and eventually they've got quite a considerable land mass. But think, just 1 second, if we raise it up just by 20 meters, most of that area is now gone. It's now back underwater. Places we know, like my phone is chirping away like God knows what. Antwerp, totally submerged. Other places that we sort of know here, Dordrecht and Den Haag, a few other places here. Amsterdam itself is it isn't even got an Amsterdam island anymore. This is just totally submerged in water. Let's just see what we'd be missing if that. Let me just go to another little place here. We'll go to Google Maps and zoom out and go here. Look, this is Amsterdam here. This is the city we know of Amsterdam. What's going to be missing? Let's take a look. And just drop down here somewhere onto one of these roadways. No, that's okay. That's well and true. One other thing, okay, this is just a drop down at random, but you can see how flat this land is. There's not a hill in sight apart from this clump of trees is what makes a hill. Just pull out a bit more, try and get a bit more of an accurate. And this is a satellite imagery, obviously. Let's go down here onto the street. Right, and all these houses, this is what we're talking about. This is all these houses are now underwater. They are obliterated. Everybody who lives here has either moved or drowned. If they haven't moved, they will have drowned because the sea has come up by, what we're saying it was? 20 meters. Let's just have a look at 5 meters and let's, there we go. This is Amsterdam at 5 meters. It's absolutely scary, this. All these buildings, and in all these buildings, every house has got people in it. So how much is it going to cost to rehome all these people? You know, all these cars. The one thing that always amazed me, and when I look at Holland through Google Maps, the number of bicycles in the centre, not motorbikes, but bicycles. Wherever you go, there is a bicycle somewhere. And basically because the land is so flat, it's easy to get around. There's no uphill struggle or anything like that. So here we are. This is Amsterdam. It's a beautiful city, absolutely beautiful houses, very clean. It's a shame they don't drive on the correct side of the road, isn't it? But there we go. This is this food for thought. Where is this island? Do you recognise this place at all? Where is this island here? Yep, that's what we just showed you, pretty much. That is. Lose that a second. Oh dear, lost it all now. So if somebody says, where is this island in the future, you say, oh, that's the island of Lincoln. Look at this. There it is. That is this island here. Just flick back to the picture. There we go. That is the island of Lincolnshire. So there's food for thought. If any politicians decide to get round to watch this, if Victoria Atkins, our local MP, is watching this, maybe go and have a word with your parliamentary guys and say that if the sea should happen to raise to 60 meters, let's go back, let's be more realistic, 5 meters, we need to employ Donald Trump's device. We need to build a wall pretty much all the way from London right up to Newcastle on Tyne and make it at least 6 meters, that'll keep the sea out, with the prospect of building it up to 60 meters, because that is what could actually flood this area. When you've done that at a cost of, I think somebody worked it out as being like 14 trillion pounds to build, just to build the wall up to 5 meters, that is the problems we're going to have in the future. I'm sorry this is a bit of a sad note for this demonstration, but I hope it hits home to somebody that, you know, we can't keep global warming the way we're going. We've got to pull back on some of the stops somewhere, maybe spend a bit more money. I know that one young girl, I saw a news item yesterday, has invented a plastic out of fish guts. It's stronger than plastic and biodegrades inside 6 weeks. So maybe lots more technology like that might help save this planet of ours. As I saw on the news clip very recently, there is no planet B. You know, we can't just sort of nip off somewhere else when we've ruined this one. There we go. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this, and more importantly, I hope it's twitched a nerve thinking, yeah, we all need to get together and sort out exactly what we're doing with this planet before it's too late. Anyway, bye for now, and thank you for listening.